Guys, welcome back after that short advert break. Let us look at our next question. So in our next question, we are saying here, with the latest water crisis in Gauteng, Mr. van der Linde decided to buy a water tank to save water. Carefully study the diagram and use it to answer the questions that follow. So there's a picture of the water tank Mr. van der Linde intends to buy, and then a note is given to us here. It says the tank is 3.5 meters long, right, and has a diameter of 200 centimeters. So meaning this is your diameter, right? This is 200 centimeters, and then we know this is the height of this tank, right? And this is 3.5 meters long. Okay, so there we have all the information. Let's see what we need to calculate. So it says here, calculate the surface area of the water tank in square meters, correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, you may use the formula. Total surface area equals 2 times pi times radius plus, in bracket, radius plus your length. Okay, or we multiplied actually that with radius plus your length. Now, let's look at what is happening here. We need to determine the total surface area. Remember, your answer should be in square meters, right? But also important, your final answer must be rounded to 2 decimal places. But now looking at the note, we can see the tank is 3.5 meters long. So that dimension we are clear with, right? The unit is already given as meters. Now we look at our diameter. Diameter is 200 centimeters. Again, let us first convert the centimeters to meters, right? So that all our units are the same, and then we know we can simplify. So how many centimeters in a meter again? Yes, I agree, that's 100, right? So I'm going to say 200 divided by 100. We know the answer there is 2. So meaning this will be 2 meters. Are we clear? Now I can focus on my formula. So I'm going to substitute, right? So now it's 2 multiply by pi, and I'm going to use the approximate value of 3,142, multiply by my radius. Now let's quickly pause there. We know the diameter is what? 2 meters. We also know that radius equals half your diameter. So half of 2 will be 1. So this is 1. And remember, all our dimensions we know now is in meters. I'll indicate that right at the end. Then in bracket, right, is what? My radius again, which is 1 meter, plus the length. What is the length? The length is 3,5. And I close that bracket. And remember, now I'll indicate my unit as meters. Guys, are we all fine? Okay, so I'll look at the first part here. So I just want to say it's 2,341. Remember, Botma says bracket first. So there in bracket, so I'm going to keep this as 2 times 3,142 times 1. Then I must multiply that by 1 plus 3.5. That will give us 4.5. And remember, it's all in meters. Guys, are we clear? You see what happened here? I simplify the values inside of the bracket first by saying 1 plus 3.5. Now I'm going to simplify. 2 multiplied by 3.142, multiply by 1, multiply by 4.5. So this will give us a total surface area of 28,278. And remember, the unit for surface area is squared, right? So it's squared meters in this case. One last thing, right? We must round off correct to 2 decimal places. So therefore, the answer will then be 28, so I look at the third digit after my decimal, right? That's more than 5. So therefore, the 7 becomes an 8. Guys, are we clear? So looking at this, actually quite straightforward. We had to convert our diameter from centimeters to meters. And thereafter, we know the formula was given. What is my aim now? I needed to substitute by saying 2 times 3,142. I converted my diameter from centimeters to meters, and then I divided that by 2 to get my radius, right? And we found that to be 1. Substituted 1. I also know the length here is 3,5. I simplified the values in brackets first. 1 plus 3.5. Ended with 4.5. Thereafter, I've multiplied all my values together. That step we call simplification, right? Then I ended with an answer of 28, 278 square meters. And my last step for my last mark here is to round according to the context. In this case, to 2 decimal places. Guys, I hope that's clear to all of you. All right, let us look at another question. Right, so here, question number 2. We are saying basketball is a team sport which any member of the team can score points in a match, right? The shaded part in the diagram, right, shows the ball passing exactly through the center of the hoop. So here's the ball, as we can see. This is the hoop here. And then this is the shaded part we are referring to. Okay, so let's see what we need to calculate. It says carefully study the diagram and use it to answer the question that follow. Right, we already looked at it. It's a direct view of the area between the basketball and the hoop when it passes through the center. Okay, now let's look at what else is presented. Again, a note is given. Okay, we are saying the diameter of the basketball hoop, meaning this one here, the diameter. So from this point all the way through to that point is 45 centimeters. And then the diameter of the ball is 24.8 centimeters. So meaning from here to there is 24.8 centimeters. Let's look at what we need to calculate. Again, we have all the information. There we have the note as well. We have the diagram. Now it says determine the area of the shaded part of the sketch, right? You may use the following formula. Area equals pi times radius squared. Now looking at this, guys, it's important to note that we will have 2 circular objects. You agree? And what will that be? I agree. The first one is the ball, right, the basketball. And the second circular object that we are working with is the basketball hoop, right? So now we need to calculate, remember, what is that shaded part, the area of the shaded part here, once the ball basically goes through that hoop, right? So I'll start by, first of all, calculating the area of the ball. Are we clear? Thereafter, I'll calculate the area of the hoop. And then I can determine what is the area of the shaded part by subtracting the area of the ball from the area of the hoop. Right, so let's do that. So first of all, can I put it like this? So I'll start with area of the ball itself. And here I'll indicate this will be the area of the part of the hoop. Right, so both of it is circular objects, so therefore I'll say area equals pi times radius squared. Right, so let's work with the ball itself first. 3,142 multiply by, now please note, it says here diameter of the ball is 24.8. In my formula I want the radius. So what must happen now? I must take the 24.8 and I divide that by 2 to get the radius. Are you guys with me? So I'm going to indicate here. So in this case, the radius will be half of 28.4, which is 12.4 centimeters. So I'm going to substitute that by saying it's 12.4 and I square that value. Guys, are we clear? Do you want me to write that proper for you? Let me just write that as 12.4 and I square that value. Okay, so now let's simplify. Okay, that will give us an answer of 483,11392, and remember this is squared centimeters. Guys, are we fine? All right, 483,11392 square centimeters. So now I'll continue by calculating the area of the hoop. Okay, circular object as well. So therefore I'll indicate its area equals pi multiplied by radius squared. Pi, approximate value, 3,142, multiply, right? So this case now, I will look at the diameter of the basketball hoop. That is 45 centimeters. So what needs to happen now? I divide 45 by 2, right? So that will give me then a radius of 22.5. So I'll write it as 22.5 and I square that value. Remember, it's all in centimeters, right? So therefore, I'll say then 3.142 multiplied by 22.5 squared. That will give me a total area for this hoop of 1,400 1,590,6375 squared centimeters. So what will happen now, I'll take the area of the hoop and I'll subtract it from the area of the ball. Okay guys, so therefore I'll take the area of the hoop, the 1,590,6375 squared centimeters, and then I'll subtract the 483,11392 squared centimeters. Okay, so let's type that in. So we will say then it is 1,590.6375 minus your 483.11392. So that will give us then the area of the shaded part here, right, that we needed to calculate. And that gives us an answer of 1,107,52358 squared centimeters. Guys, I hope that's clear. So I took the area of the hoop, subtracted that the area of the basketball, and I ended with an answer of 1,107,52358 squared centimeters. Guys, let us take a quick break. After the break, we wrap up today's lesson. See you now.